Welcome to another episode of This Old Hoopty. In today's video, we're going to install the auto start stop eliminator in my wife's Palisade. I don't know about you guys, but I live in Florida and it's ridiculously hot pretty much 364 days of the year. So when the air conditioning doesn't turn on, it gets hot. When you're at a traffic light and you stop, the air conditioning turns off and it gets hot. So it's annoying. This is going to solve that problem. We're going to get that done today, and we're going to go over a couple other pieces that I picked up to go in the tray areas to give us a little more organization and storage space. We'll go over that when we get to it. For now, let's get into the video. If you guys are interested in doing the steps, I have another video on that. You can take a look at my playlist, and it's a full how-to, including the link in the description to get these. If you guys are interested in this video, there is a full how-to in my truck playlist, including the link for that specific grill. Okay guys, as far as installing this, all that you need are a set of working hands, some painter's tape, something to clip a zip tie, and a little towel to put under here so we don't scratch anything when we take this piece off here. Okay, let me get you guys up on a tripod. We'll pry that thing apart and you guys will see how easy it is to install this. Everyone with a vehicle should install this and remove this ridiculousness if you live in a hot state. If this thing works for you, good on you. If it doesn't, then you're like me and you want to get rid of it. You should be able to tune it out, but you can't. So this is an alternative. What it's going to do is it's going to save the state of the button. So when you turn the car off or on, or SUV off or on, it is going to save the previous state that was selected. Let's get to the installation. All right, guys, hopefully this is enough light. It's a very simple install. First thing we're going to do is we're going to lift this up. This piece here is attached only by some snap clips. What we're going to do is we're going to put some tape across here so we don't scratch any of this plastic while we're prying this up. So that's first. Okay, now that we've got our dash protected, we're gonna just pry up from the corner here like so. Like that. Get this side up. You don't just wanna pick this thing up because you will snap these or permanently bend them, especially if the car's already hot. So I'm just gonna kinda pry up on everything. And this will come loose like so. So the next step is going to be putting a towel across here so you don't cause any damage to the rest of the console. What we're looking for is the harness on the back of this section of this console piece, and it's going to be right here. So we're just going to remove that one piece. We'll move this off to the side. Just going to kind of coil it out of the way so it tucks into the back. There's more than enough room in this wire guard area here to just shove everything back in here, but you might as well try and keep it a little bit neat. This little package they send you come with everything you need, a couple of zip ties, and the actual save state module, or auto start stop delete, whatever you want to call it. The way this works is you're just going to plug it in between the back of this module and the actual plug for the harness. So let's do that. Snap it into place, make sure it clicks, give it a little tug. I'm just doing it tilted this way for your benefit. This little plug right here is going to go to this connector right here. So there's one last step to this. We're just going to clean up the wires a little bit, and we're going to tie this right here to the rest of the wires so it can just kind of slide into place. So I'm going to put this zip tie on, and then I'm just going to clip the end to it, and that's it. So give me 1 second. It's a lot easier to do this way. Let me bring you guys around just in case, for those of you who want to see what I actually zip tied it to. Give me a second. This is the new plug, or the harness, going into the back of the auto start stop section of this console. And all I did was zip tie it back to itself. And then I'm going to tuck the wires up under here so everything slides into place. There's more than enough space. So let me just cut these two real quick and we'll get it back in place. These zip ties do not need to be ridiculously tight. It is literally just to hold the wires in place. Let me get you guys back on the tripod. We'll get this back into place and we'll move on to the trays. Now that the new harness is added in line to this console, we're gonna just put everything back together the reverse of how we took it apart. So we're gonna get this out of the way here, get this out of the way. We're gonna tuck our wires back into the center portion of the console here. There's actually space for everything to just tuck right back in. Make sure nothing is in the clips so you can clip everything back together. Start at the rear, pop these two into place. All right, guys, now that the auto start stop eliminator is installed, let's test this thing out, make sure everything works as it's supposed to. Let's get behind the driver's seat, turn this thing on and off. Let's give this thing a start and see what happens. All right, as you guys can see, that button is off. When the LED is off, that means this feature is enabled. So what we're gonna do is we are going to disable. Hopefully you guys can see that. It's now lit up. So that feature is disabled. We're gonna turn this off. SUV's off. Now we're gonna turn it back on. Hopefully you guys can see that that LED is on. So if I turn it back off, now the LED's off. Let's turn the SUV off. Let's turn it back on. And as you can see, it stayed off. So basically, it saved the state exactly as it should. Now we're gonna turn this thing to disable and never deal with it again. I'll be able to turn this on and off a million times and be happy. All right, so as you guys saw, the auto start, stop, delete is a glaring success. Ridiculously excited that I no longer have to touch that button every single time I get into the SUV. It's the little things in life that make me happy. That's one of them. Couldn't stand that thing. Now let's take a look at the tray area and see what we can do to make that a little more neat. Here we go. Okay, so here's another one of my little issues with this thing. There's nothing here. It's just a huge mess and everything just gets kind of thrown into this. This is a mess. Let me show you what we're gonna do to rectify that. All right, so I got these two little beauties sent to me from a company called Muslaji or Muslaji. The link will be down in the description below. For this one, it's more rubbery, as you can see, and it has the built-in anti-slip stuff, and it has cup holders and a change thing here, a space for pens. I think it's a bit more organized than something like this that just has these and these little anti-slip add-on mats, because these things move around. This is hard plastic. They both fit perfectly. I do like the option to have a couple extra cans or some shaker bottles or whatever sitting in here, along with the individual trays to hold certain things like sunglasses, chain. All right, let's get all the garbage out of here and into here and see the difference that it makes. All right, guys, as you can see, that's a lot more organized. Everything has a place and every place has a thing. Let's test out a few different cup sizes, bottles, etc. for those two new additions down there. Every once in a while we have bottles in here when I have my nieces in the car, so that would definitely be a good thing to test out. Now this obviously is not gonna fit, it just kind of rolls around. Let's test out a, I guess a common thing would be a Starbucks cup of coffee here. We can test this out, slap that in there. I don't drink Starbucks, but this is old and it was in one of my cabinets, so. You know, who knows? Maybe you guys want to put a cup of Alfredo sauce in here. Well, the Alfredo sauce does fit perfectly. So if you wanted to turn that into a drinking device, those fit fantastic. But like I said, the most important thing to me is these shaker cups. So if I can squeeze a couple extra ones in here, got a protein shake on the road or an energy drink or whatever, we slap that in there and there's more than enough space to get this in and out while I'm driving, and one for the other side as well. So this I am ridiculously happy about. Your mileage may vary. If you guys drink soda, I'm sure that'll fit in there as well, but it's gonna be a little wobbly. If you guys are like me and keep a cup of tea or a protein shake or whatever with you in the car, this thing fits fantastic. It is not gonna wobble out of there. It should be good to go as long as there's a little weight in the bottom. And of course, for those of you normal people who use cans instead of like pasta sauces, here is a large Bang. I wouldn't leave that open in there. It doesn't fit too well. And the Black Rifle coffee, definitely a little bump, and this thing's going all over the place. So these are for the shaker cups. these right here can fit in here just fine. Okay guys, with our new goodies installed, that's gonna bring us to the end of another video. You guys know what to do. Like it if you like, don't if you don't, subscribe to keep up with my latest shenanigans, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.